Continuing Speculation as a Fine Art and Thoughts on Life by Dickson G. Watts. Part 2. Life. Compensations do not always compensate. Hold in time or take the jump. A danger known is half overcome. A fault recognized is half conquered. A great insult. Tell a man he can't take a joke. Fools try to prove that they are right. Wise men try to find when they are wrong. That writer is the greatest who says the least and suggests the most. Follow the vague and intangible, and it will become definite and tangible. A man's good qualities are often, at bottom, only pride. Two standards, one for yourself and one for your neighbor. The first should be fixed, the second flexible. That man is greatest who quickens most the lives of other men. All see, few observe, fewer still compare. The finished fabric of science is the raw material of philosophy. Destruction must often precede construction, but most men stop at the former. Common sense is sense men have in common. Defer to a man and he will listen to you. The dangerous classes are enthusiasts and fools. A true estimate of oneself is not vanity. Suffering of the body is pain, of the mind, anguish, of the spirit, agony. Man can improve on nature. Perhaps that is his business here. The distant is the great, the near the little, but he little near controls man rather than the distant great. Catch thoughts on the fly, for there is no rebound. To conquer fate, advance to meet it. The first blow is half the battle. Man's enemies are legion. Oftentimes, he himself is his only friend. Surplus is as bad as deficiency. Deficiency as surplus. Sentimentality is an ugly caricature of beautiful sentiment. Nerve is nerves controlled. Many lean, few lift. Imagination controlled is a greater builder. Imagination uncontrolled, a great destroyer. People forget in the rush, remember in the hush. Look before you leap, but not when you leap. The greatest tolerance is to tolerate the intolerant. Awe is fear petrified. A blemish in youth, a vice in old age. To the careless, life is a drama. To the heartless, a comedy. To the thoughtful, a tragedy. Health is equilibrium. The man who conforms never transforms. Incongruity is the basis of humor. Inconsistency a source of wit. Respect your limitations. Your limitations will not respect you. Man fears the unknown, despises the uncomprehended. Sleep is a truce, death a surrender. Up to the limit, but not beyond the limit. Put on the brakes in the middle of life, or the momentum of youth will destroy you. Nothing so formidable as knowledge, except ignorance. Great wealth is a misfortune. It attracts parasites and repels friends. Nothing so impressive as simplicity. Wealth is a good inheritance, but a sound stomach is better. Tiresome people are interesting to themselves. People meditate much on other people's sins. The man who makes a positive assertion is positively wrong. Every man is distinct from others, if he would be natural. Better the vagaries of eccentricity than commonplace dullness. The man who knows it all has much to learn. The test of a man is what he is in an emergency. To separate the essential from the non-essential is the mark of a superior mind. People, like gems, have flaws. If we would enjoy them, we should not examine too closely. In his secret heart, every man thinks the universe is especially hard on him. If all men were geniuses, there would be no genius. Genius consists of seeing instantly the vital point. Every man is a secret. His friends, those who guess a part of the riddle. The more points of view, the better the point of view. Morals and money, either alone, is a great power. Together they are omnipotent. Don't batter down the door, pick the lock. Light is one, and yet people see things in a different light. It is shadow that makes the difference. Don't fool with nature, she strikes back. Break antagonism with a joke. Recognize a fault, but don't dwell on it. Enthusiasm is a poor guide, but a good companion. A prophet is without honor the first time he makes a mistake. Don't stand shivering on the brink. Take the plunge. Habit is the tyrant of man. Inheritance, the tyrant of the race. The peace of ignorance, the serenity of knowledge. Censure is poor food. but we can extract some nourishment from it. All movements are in waves, in politics, in business, in the atmosphere, in spirit. Rest with descending wave, mount with the ascending wave. None so blind as those who are sure they see. At 30, most men are in a condition of arrested development. A few grow until their bodies fall into the grave. Wealth is a means of refinement, but having done its work, it ceases to aid and retards true refinement. In youth, a man forges the chains that bind him in old age. Seeing things in their right relation to each other is the highest vision. Nothing so dear to a man as his money, except his prejudice. The voice may speak false, but the eyes always tell. One moment man may soar through space, another grovel in dust. If a horse knew his strength, no man could drive him. If a man knew his power, the universe could hardly contain him. Sickness develops a man inwardly, health outwardly. To have the benefits of both, man must have been sick and become well. Much power, like much learning, makes men mad. The man who rides a high horse forgets how things look to people on foot. A great man changes the map of the earth, a great idea, the map of the stars. A philosopher doesn't win battles, found empires, but reclaims new territory and civilizes old hemispheres. Man rules man, ideas rule the world. Take counsel on your fears, but don't be controlled by them. Acquire a habit, and a habit has acquired you. A man who does not change his mind has little mind to change. The enthusiastic man is an iconoclast, the vain man a fool. Pleasure and pain are the two poles of consciousness. They make the circuit complete. The man with a grievance is not acquainted with grief. Misery loves company, but company doesn't reciprocate. A strong personality arouses antagonisms. A pronounced individuality removes barriers. Money covers a multitude of sins. Get on a train of cars, and you will go to your destination. Get on a train of thought, and you will go where? Capacity for suffering is in exact proportion to capacity for enjoyment. All men travel in circles. A few increase the diameter of the circle. Some people lie and never deceive. Others speak truth and always deceive. Angels abroad are often demons at home. The man who does not laugh at himself, despise himself, and worship himself knows nothing about himself. To be continued.